It's the Off-Grid Prep Family Podcast.
Hi everybody, today is episode 12 of the Off-Grid Prep Family Podcast. And today we're going off script a little and we are talking about two topics, potassium iodide and the easiest way to get off-grid power today. So, should we talk about potassium iodide first? Because I feel like it's easier.
Potassium iodide is a real passion thing for you. It is. You saw some things today.
Project? Okay.
I seen stuff.
There is nothing like misinformation, like real misinformation, not like Facebook says this is misinformation, but real misinformation that just makes me angry enough to even put my face on the internet.
No, you're talking about unintentional misinformation, which is the
people
worst
who
kind.
claim to know what they're talking about and they do not. Okay.
Propaganda is surprisingly easily disproven.
But it's easy to do by accident if you're just trying to shill stuff off your Amazon affiliate link.
Yeah.
So,
you found your line.
The City of New York published yesterday a public service announcement about what to do in case of a nuclear attack. You've probably seen it online.
You didn't tell me that part. You didn't tell me it was an actual political entity that spouted this garbage.
No. It was people online telling you where to get potassium iodide, and they were incorrect. But it started with...
Okay. It started with...
a PSA.
I thought the City of New York was buy these tablets on...
No.
Okay.
So you've probably seen it floating around and lots of advice to buy bottles of potassium iodide supplements and links to places where people are recommending them. You'll probably notice nobody's holding the bottle because they're just trying to get you to buy it off Amazon. They don't even own it. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice, and I would want you to do your own research. But I'm going to tell you the potassium iodide that you want does not come in a bottle. You can look at our Instagram feed, look at the Off-Grid Gear page. It's in the first aid section if you want to see the type that you need. I also showed it on our Instagram Reels just today. I was holding a bunch of packets of the stuff that you need to look for. The type we store personally is the IOSAT brand, IOSAT. You can get it in 65 milligram or 130 milligram tabs. I just store the 130s because it's more economical and you can always cut them smaller for kids.
So right here is a good point to say, you said the milligram dosages in those tablets. What is the milligram dosage in the tablets that people have been trying to sell?
The one that I saw most recommended today, I can bring it up here. It was 1.05 milligrams.
So instead of 130,
it was 1.05.
That seems like a bit of a discrepancy.
For a bottle of 100 capsules for $21.95, this supplement, which is not a medication, you would have to take about a bottle and a half per day per adult.
They're anti-mutation tablets, really.
And you're never going to be able to take in 130 tablets without having severe digestive issues.
You might become Spider-Man.
Stop.
But you might become a pile of goo. It's more likely you'll melt.
Stop. Okay, we had to take our break for our first sponsor already, Mr. Spider-Man.
But why do I have to take these tablets?
So that your thyroid is full of potassium iodide so that it doesn't absorb the radiation iodide.
Right.
And so it is very important that you take enough. Otherwise, you might as well have just not taken any. You're just paying for expensive urine.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Stop. Okay. Thank you, EMP Shield. Today's first sponsor. It will protect any device you plug into it from an EMP, a CME, or even just a lightning strike. They have units for your car, generator, or your whole home. And if you use the code OGPF, you get $50 off every unit, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, so, I'm excited about what these guys have to offer.
Thank you, EMP Shield. Let us continue. The potassium iodide that you want to save your family from nuclear fallout is not the same potassium iodide that comes in a cute little plastic bottle. Because If you took it in the dose that you need, you will get severe stomach upset
From the fillers.
from the fillers
Just
that
to
are
be
in
clear.
it. And it would be not cost effective. I think people are doing it because it's cheaper.
Well,
But if
yeah.
you look at the dosage,
Yeah.
it is not cheaper
That's
to
what-
store 36 bottles at $20 a bottle.
That's what we do. First we say, how can we get this cheaper?
Yes.
But then we, through research,
yeah.
we teach ourselves, okay, well, this might be cheaper, but that's garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And we eventually end up with a product somewhere in the middle ground.
Also, something that you have to think about if you're trying to use like a supplement or a vitamin instead of a prescription type medicine that has an actual dosage is that there aren't really a lot of regulations. You don't even know that you're getting that 1.5 milligrams,
Right.
let alone
Yeah.
that you're going to get it times 130 and get what you need. And so, especially for kids, you don't want to mess around with this, and it's better to err on the side of overdosing your kids than underdosing if you're trying to protect their thyroid.
It's very binary stuff. It's like,
You just have to fill it up.
The-
And if
well,
you don't
but-
fill it up, you might as well have not bothered.
yeah, and well, this ties into the later part of the episode in a very relevant way. If you want to go off the grid and have enough power to like make it through the day, you need to spend like $4,000 or $5,000.
You just have to.
Like that's
And
it.
if
You
you
can't
just buy-
spend $500. It doesn't
if you buy a
exist.
bunch of toys and you buy some cute little things, you're just going to spend good money after bad.
You are. It's gonna break immediately. It's not gonna work.
It's not going to power
Yeah.
what you need it to power. You just have to do it right the
I-
first time.
When we were setting up this episode, I actually didn't notice the parallel between those two things, but it's really important.
Better, not more. And a little bit
Yeah.
of
There's a minimum amount
research.
required to
Yeah.
just work.
to
Period.
just do it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
just don't, because you've just bought a toy.
Well, junk.
So when it comes to protecting your thyroid, it is better to dose higher rather than leaving open space in your thyroid. It is more important for children and infants than it is for adults. So if you do not have enough potassium iodide, you dose youngest to oldest.
Can you repeat the dosage at this point? I feel like it's a good point.
I'm getting there. I will get to the dosage. I just have 2 more points before dosage. Okay. It's imperative that you treat yourself and your kids with potassium iodide within minutes. You can't order it on Amazon then.
Minutes of what in particular?
Of knowing that you've been exposed to radiation.
Okay.
You can wait 3 to 4 hours. Any longer than that, you might as well not bother.
Okay.
I store 1 pack of 14 per family. As, like, per family member.
Right.
And as they expire, I keep the old packs, but I also try to buy new packs. And any expired meds can be given or traded in times of a crisis. And expired meds are better than nothing. And they're probably still fine. It's important to have them on hand. And I recommend figuring out your dosages and writing them down before you're in that stressful situation. Because if stuff's already happening and you're already stressed, I for one am not doing math. Just write it down. Who gets what and when. Okay. Here's the dosages. Again, do your own research. This is not a medical show. If you have 130 milligram tablets, which is what I would recommend you get, adults and anyone 13 and up get 1 tablet per day. If you're really big, you should get 2.
Big being over
220?
220? Okay.
Yeah.
220 pounds
Yeah.
or larger.
Take 2. If you're not sure, take 2. It's not going to give you any more adverse reactions than just
If
not dosing
you're in the
yourself
single
correctly.
digits at H&M, take one.
Take one.
Like,
If you
giving a
sometimes-
reference point here for
if you
people who don't
sometimes
weigh
have
themselves.
to buy an XL t-shirt, just take 2 if you have enough.
Do you fall over in the wind?
Take 1. Okay. Children age 3 and up. So that's 3 to 12. They need a half a tab per day, 65 milligrams. Or if you can find some 65s, give those to your kids. Children 1 month to 3 years need 33 milligrams per day approximately. That's about a quarter of a tablet. And infants under 1 still need 15 milligrams. That's an eighth of a tablet. And if they're breastfeeding, mothers should be taking double doses.
Interesting.
But you should also be trying to give your infant some. That is tricky unless you're pumping and you can put it in, or if you're giving them formula, you can put it in the formula, because infants under 1 month really shouldn't be drinking water. But it's imperative for the under 3 crowd that you really get it into them, no matter how you make that happen. You can get liquid potassium iodide. You need to do your own math on that and write down the dosages if that's what you find. It doesn't last as long on the shelf if you get the liquid. It can be really hard to cut those pills, and experts have said that it is safe for children to take whole pills if necessary. So daycares and schools have been given instructions to just give a full tablet to every child.
Have they been given pills?
I don't know. I'm not a school teacher or a daycare provider, but you can give kids full tabs rather than underdosing them. Okay. There are potassium iodide tablets on the Off-Grid Gear page of OffGridPrepFamily.com if you want to see the exact ones that we recommend. And stop buying vitamins, people. And please stop recommending vitamins to your friends, because it makes me crazy. Thank you for this public service announcement.
If you're going for really expensive urine, you're going to need some manganese.
Manganese. Okay. Moving on to something more fun. And something that people ask us constantly. What is the easiest, cheapest, fastest, most quality stuff that you can buy to get off grid today?
$5,000.
There we go. Is that the number that you were all just looking for? Is that just what you wanted? Was a real number?
That's it. That's the number.
Don't mess around with me. Don't try and sell me a $2,000, $500 package and tell me that it's going to run my life. That's how much it costs.
There are many, many levels. Some would say... Sorry, I thought I heard kid tip, 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 tip.
They probably hear all sorts of little kid noises in the background. You're welcome. It's ambiance.
It's a ladder. I mean, you can spend $500,000.
Yeah.
And have a lavish system. I've seen lavish systems that require an enormous amount of maintenance. It's not a...
Well, it's like when you have a mansion with the grounds that are manicured like a golf course, then you need a gardener.
You have to keep maintaining.
And so people who have multi-$100,000 systems have electrical engineers and electricians who come out just whenever they need them to.
Check on the cells.
Yeah, and so if you're not in that boat, we aren't.
So we found EcoFi.
This is our sponsor for season 1. And we cannot recommend them enough. And
it's new.
It makes it easy. We're talking... Okay, here's the thing that I think is important. It's made in North America. You're not waiting around for things to come off a boat. You're not messing around with duty and
It's not some
customs.
kind of cutting edge thing.
It's just to make it easier for a normal person.
Yeah.
So everything you need is in a box.
It's a battery pack, and the outlet of the box, like the output of the box, is you plug stuff. You plug in your appliances.
Yeah. You can also hire an electrician to hardwire it if you just want it to run your whole house.
They do make custom systems.
And you can get it gigantic if that's what you want, or you can stack them together.
Yeah. The science behind it is pretty simple. It's lithium iron phosphate. Lithium iron phosphate... even 5 years ago was touted as kind of the granddaddy of lithium batteries. And there were a whole host of lithium battery technologies. There was lithium cadmium. There was a nickel composition.
Hold on, I'm bored.
Well,
if this is for people who don't know what you're talking about, like me.
Fair enough. So eventually it appears that even Tesla is going with lithium iron phosphate batteries.
So the Betamax has died. We're just going to go with the VCR.
That is a really apt reference. Actually, yeah, because Betamax was like...
It was better.
It was better, but it wasn't...
So were... what were those? lightning discs,
Laser
diamond
disc.
laser discs. They were great.
Yeah.
I have the laser discs.
So that's how old you are. And that's how
Yes.
old I am. Anyway. So the EcoFi thing is there are a lot of companies on the market selling energy storage systems, but the EcoFi thing is designed to just kind of drop into place.
And it's not a toy. You can use it for camping. You can use it on your RV,
You
but
can.
it's meant for your house.
But since camping is never a long-term solution, I think that the EcoFi thing kind of aligns with that.
Yeah.
So they start at 2.3 kilowatt hours, a 24 volt system, and
What will that run if you get the smallest EcoFi?
well, if you get I think it's called the EcoFi Mini. That's a really good emergency system.
Okay,
If you
so
want to
you're
keep
trying
your
to
freezer running.
Blackouts, brownouts.
Yeah.
And maybe you want the option to charge it up. You can charge it from the grid. You could charge it from a panel. You could charge it from your generator. You got options.
All of the things. It has an AC input, like it has a cord end, basically. You plug it into a wall or you plug it into a energy source that is supplied by solar power, a generator, and it's a 110, 120 volt AC input.
Okay.
And that's how it charges. It also has what they call MC4. Actually, just today I saw H4. I don't know what that means either. They're solar connectors.
Okay.
If you buy solar panels, like if you get Renogy solar panels or any other solar panel,
Do we have some in our Amazon?
We do. Yes.
On the off-grid gear page?
We do.
Okay.
Most, I think all solar panels actually now come with MC4. It's a quick connect thing. There's a little tool and it snaps together.
That's easy.
The EcoFi units all have that as well.
Okay.
Until you get into the larger units where you have to get it wired in by an electrical contractor.
Right.
But the idea is you drop this thing into any
Utility
room.
Yeah.
You can put it in your RV, you can put it in anything, and it just works. It just puts out AC power.
Okay.
So
I like that it's quiet because running the generator all day makes me crazy.
it is. Batteries are a buffer.
Yeah.
That's really what batteries are.
That's operational security. That's
Yeah.
privacy. Your neighbors don't know that you have power when they don't. It's
Yeah.
also just nicer to live around, and it's probably better for you.
Well, it is.
If you're talking about a power outage, running your generator versus running something silent, this will
Noise
probably
pollution.
go for the number of hours that most people have a rolling brownout for.
Do you remember that wood chipper we had?
Oh, I do.
Do you
Yeah.
still feel it when I say, do you remember the wood chipper?
I feel
Do
like
you
I
feel
have
that?
a thing that says, in my head.
and-
That's the wood chipper.
It rattled itself apart. Like several times before I decided to try and
You kept
return
putting
it.
it together. Thank you, Princess Auto, for always taking
Princess
every
Auto
return.
is amazing. It
Yeah.
is. They did a really great
Don't
job.
take anything back.
However, I digress. The energy storage, the idea behind a system that just plugs in, there's a few companies doing it, but what we found with EcoFi is it's more flexible.
You can take this outside and power your daughter's wedding, and then take it back inside
And charge it.
and avoid
And it's
the
all
blackout
quiet.
next
There's
time.
no fumes.
And then you take it with you camping,
Yeah.
and you go camp on BLM for land for 2 weeks, and then you take it back home.
Well, what I like about EcoFi in particular is they'll customize.
And they're not using sort of toy components. This isn't like something you use for 2 weekends a year.
No.
And it's kind of a novelty.
The minimum size unit with EcoFi is a 2.3 for the nerds, for people who actually care about this. It's a 2.3 kilowatt hour battery and a 3,000 watt inverter. It's got a 5,000 watt surge, I'm reading. Yeah. However, I've seen units, competitor units that go as small as a 0.7 kilowatt hour battery, and a 500 watt inverter.
Yeah.
If you would just want to charge a cell phone, I don't
see
care
why you
about
would
that.
do that. You just get one of those little battery packs.
No, I want to live. Like,
Yeah.
I want to survive.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to survive with
I don't
a
want to lose
Canadian Tire inverter,
Yeah.
like, tied to
And
a pack of double A's.
Cute little fold-up solar panels.
No, I don't care about aesthetics.
Yeah.
It doesn't... Like, okay, it can't be
can't be
entirely...
ugly.
It can't be Frankenstein's monster
Yeah.
robot.
Also, what I like about our EcoFi system is that if you're out of the house, you can monitor it on the app on your phone, and I don't have to know all the numbers.
We have the custom system.
It's a big one, but they all come with the Bluetooth app.
They all come with the Bluetooth app. You can add Wi-Fi monitoring. You can add remote monitoring,
Yeah.
which is not an extremely pricey option, but
No.
I
But
think
it's really valuable because, especially if it was a cabin,
yeah.
or if you work and your wife's at home and you're trying to live off grid and she doesn't get the numbers, like me, then that's handy.
You know what would be cool?
So how much? Sorry, I
Oh.
missed it. How much was the EcoFi Mini? If you're just,
It's
I need to get off grid tomorrow and I'm on a budget. How much is it?
EcoFi Mini is $3,700. It's $36.99
Canadian.
Canadian.
So if you're American, that's a good deal.
that's a really good deal.
And we do have a coupon code on our website. I think it's only good in July. It's for $150 off if you want to go to our friends and affiliates page. That's offgridprepfamily.com/friends. You can grab that coupon code and get $150 off. So it's even cheaper. The medium-sized unit. Can you tell me how big that is and what I can run?
Sure. EcoFi Home is designed for, I think, I'm just checking here, it's designed to power the critical appliances in a normal home.
So a fridge, a freezer,
Deep freeze.
your lights, charging stuff, maybe running a TV.
Yes. Yeah.
So
From
life goes
what I
on
can tell.
as normal, but you're not running the air conditioning and you're probably not doing dishwasher.
No, it has the capacity. So you've got 3,500 watts of power with 5,000 watts of surge. So you can run an air conditioner, but if you're talking about a point where you don't have sun, there's a limit.
Right.
For reference, our house runs on, we have an 11 kilowatt, to be specific, we have an 11.7 kilowatt hour EcoFi system. And that gives us approximately, if we get a full charge, it's a 48 hour system.
Okay.
Like if the next 2 days have zero sun,
Yeah.
we have power for those next 2 days.
But if we check the weather and it's going to be more than that, we either have to be very careful or we have to plan to recharge with some other means.
Yeah, you have to make choices.
Yeah.
Really, it's efficiency. It's like
Is
any
that,
other
what's
What?
this from? I need to make oxygen choices.
oxygen. Oh my, that. What movie
I'm
is
going to
that?
have to let you go. I need to make some oxygen
need to-
choices.
Is that Sam Rockwell?
No,
I feel like that's Sam
If
Rockwell.
he's talking to the eHarmony guy.
Oh, Walter Mitty.
Walter Mitty.
Walter Mitty.
Okay.
Before he meets Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Epic movie. So,
Let's talk
EcoFi Home is a medium-sized system that it'll keep you comfortable.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
luxury in an RV. Pretty minimal, but you're not running the generator in a home.
Yep.
Okay. The biggest model they sell without a custom
Without a custom. Yeah.
is the Elite, which is how big?
It's a 9 kilowatt hour, so you've got 51.2 volt pack, lithium iron phosphate. It's a 48 volt DC pack. It has a 7,000 watt surge capacity, so you can run an air compressor without dimming the lights. You can run an air conditioner without dimming the lights. You can run 5,000 watts continuous.
I don't know how you would do that, but I guess if you were building a home, that would be good, right? If you're running saws and stuff, maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
This ties into our previous
5,000
episode.
watts continuous. What is that?
You're talking about running the dishwasher,
Uh-huh.
the washing machine on spin cycle,
Uh-huh.
and an air compressor kicking in.
And maybe my fridge keeps going on and off because it's doing that weird defrost thing.
This is simultaneous
Yeah.
power loads.
Uh-huh.
So all these things at the same time.
Uh-huh.
That's the idea.
But the more you do of that, the more frequently you'll have to recharge it, I assume.
You will. That's why it comes with a larger battery bank, a larger price tag.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff is pretty simple math.
Yeah. And it's still, frankly, probably cheaper than hiring an electrical contractor and getting all this done.
You don't want to do that.
So how much is the EcoFi Elite, the big one?
The big one is 9,500 Canadian.
And if you're in Atlantic Canada, I saw just the other day on their Instagram, it looked like they still had free delivery.
Yes.
And if you were Ontario, maybe if you asked really nice.
Newfoundland, Nova Scotia,
New Brunswick,
and PEI.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about the big one other than...
It's really just a scaled up version. There's nothing special. There is one custom component that I noticed. It's not on the website, but I was talking to the engineers. It's the stackable concept. Mm-hmm. A lot of people will only buy one. They'll pick the model they like or which fits their needs and budget. But the stackable thing is to do with the model of inverter in the unit.
So if you want to stack them, you need to tell them in advance.
You really do. It's
okay.
It's a full custom order. It is scalable. From what I understood, you can do up to 6 units right now.
But only if you tell them ahead of time with the first one. Does it cost any extra to order a custom, or is it all just based on the cost of parts, basically?
No. If you order a custom unit, it's the same price per kilowatt hour. If you look at the models, they're basically about the same price.
Now, we always recommend getting rid of all of the things you can.
Yes.
Like scaling down your lifestyle first.
Yes.
Then deciding how big of a system that you want.
You can't run baseboard heaters.
You can't replicate on-grid life with off-grid technology unless you are literally just won the lottery, I suppose.
We've talked about this. Even then, you're on a clock.
Yeah.
Right? Like your batteries are going to run out.
You have somebody who needs to come and maintain it or something. So could you, like, let's say that I was in a house, I'm like, I love where I live, I don't want to move to go off-grid. Could I just send them my power bill and have them build me a system that would cover that? Or do I still need to think about reducing my load?
I think you always need to reduce your load, your electrical load. If for no other reason that you end up with a smaller budget, you end up with a system that works for you. The first thing is definitely reducing your load.
Okay.
And
I think they'll walk you through that, though, like as far as like, just get on the phone or get on email, tell them what you run, and they can help you come up with solutions for that so that you can have the most affordable system and the most sort of efficient system that you can.
Yeah, from what I can tell, they're happy to do custom systems. You can do really any size of system. You can do 48 volt, 24 volt DC. The higher the DC voltage, the lower the current, so the smaller the wires. Really?
I just glazed over again.
Yeah, I know. It's
none of that makes any sense to me. All I want is for all my things to work.
So there's a few options, standardized, and just pick the one that suits your...
If you're geeky and you know the numbers, just pick one, and if you're not, just email them and they'll help you when you can.
I think they're happy to help. They're keen to help.
Okay, I'm sorry if this seemed like a 28 minute ad for potassium iodide and Ecofy, but I thought we'd just get it out of the way because we keep getting the same question over and over again.
It was the same questions.
Yeah, how much is it going to take? Just to get me off grid today. Well, let's just do it and get it over with, rip the Band-Aid off, and stop talking about it. It really is.
The minimum, I think I said 5,000. The minimum is 4,000.
Yeah.
To get battery, like the system that keeps you powered and up and running until the sun comes up the next day, I really think 4,000, but it all depends on how much power you use.
And as far as solar panels, where do you get them and how many do you get?
Ecofy doesn't sell solar panels.
No, it's the system, not the panels.
Because, from what I can tell, the solar panels are abundant. The prices keep dropping. They're everywhere. Cheap. The technology is getting better every day.
Shipping them hardly makes sense. They're everywhere, and they're so cheap.
They are.
That you're going to pay more to have them shipped from Ecofy than you would to just find them locally, as long as you know your prices. Yeah. What do we try to pay for solar panels? Just roughly?
I feel like the max price point is about $1 a watt.
Yeah. But these days, you can often find used ones that are less than 5 years old.
We found, oh my goodness, what did we pay? 30
cents a watt?
Yeah, it was like 40 cents a watt.
Yeah.
And they were only 5 years old. It was a solar system where it's one of these financed systems.
Right. Don't finance your life,
Don't
please.
finance anything.
If you can't afford it, you can't afford it.
Just knuckle down.
Yeah. Just use less or
brute force.
I'm not going to say pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but don't buy stuff you can't afford to impress people you don't like.
We hand rendered
concrete.
You
can do things. You can scrape things from nothing.
We dug a hole with shovels.
And you can live with less, but please don't finance your solar panels.
Don't finance.
But there are lots of deals to be had on repossessed solar panels out there, and you could probably pay $100 for a 300-watt panel.
Easily, yeah.
And you get 6 of those, 12, 18 if you're feeling really crazy.
Whatever you can fit on your roof.
Then you're done.
Don't put them on the ground. The snowbanks will cover them.
Yeah,
I can promise you that.
Don't put them on the ground.
Yeah.
If you could, put them on like a pole or something. We just put them on the roof and put them at a really high angle.
Yeah.
So, you need Ecofy, and you need as many solar panels as you can find. We wire them in sets of 3. So get it in a multiple of 3.
It depends on the voltage of the system. The Ecofy systems are designed, I'm just checking the voltage here. Yeah, sets of 3.
Yeah.
150 volts DC.
And you could start with 6, and you could get 6 more, and you could get 6 more. And again, 6 more. Okay. We have to wrap up. I'm trying not to go over again. I would like to thank our Patreon family for helping us again get the show out. You can check out patreon.com/OffGridPrepFamily if you want to show your love for the show. The Patreons all enjoy exclusive merch, and it's mailed out every 3 months, which is pretty cool. Like our Beans, Bullets, and Band-Aids mugs, which are so cute. You'll also receive all our printables, inventory lists, downloads, and lots more. We would love it if you would share this podcast with a friend or anyone you think who could use this info, and give us a 5-star review. It helps other people find us. The quote of the day today is from Stephen King. Ooh, creepy. There is no harm in hoping for the best as long as you're prepared for the worst. Thanks for listening, everybody. See you next time.